138 hertz makes you feel good. 138 hertz.
Nice. Oh, I love that ending. What a great ending. Holy moly. Awesome. Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Monday again. Here we are. It's a fool's journey.
138 hertz. 138 hertz. You know what that is, actually?
I don't know, but it makes you feel
Well,
good.
it's 138 hertz and like the world kicking the hell out of you, but 138 hertz is the frequency of Ohm,
Oh,
which makes you feel good.
it does make you feel good. It does make you feel good. I'm super excited for this card, especially after last week and all of the things that you say about it and the things that that video says about it and joy and the whole idea of all of that. I'm excited for that. So bring it on.
So how was your last, I'm so sorry. I have been kind of off the grid last week or so, and I missed the Raphael appearance on
Yeah, that was amazing. Oh my God. He's amazing. When I actually said, I'm like, dude, when I talk to you, I could feel like the seeds germinating in my brain and starting to tingle and like grow. And it's like, I can't respond right away because I got to wait for them to flower. But
I asked him if he blew you up.
Yeah, almost. He almost did, but I always really enjoy talking to him, and I think I kept up pretty much most of the time. I had to take a pause once or twice. Yeah, but it was really good. Yeah, thank you for introducing me to Raphael. He's a special, unique character.
He really is. He's
As are you.
A really good, yeah, we've had a really special relationship for a long time. Watching him grow and prosper and like go out into actually utilizing and making some of all those things, like we've spent all that time learning. He's like actualized them in his life, and that to me is just such a joyous thing. And he's done his own thing with them, and it's like,
right. Absolutely. No, absolutely. The thing I really love about Raph is like he really knows a lot about a lot of things, and a lot of the things he talks about, the critical thinking stuff can really be filled with fear and anxiety and a lot of emotions, but he is just super calm about everything. He's really got it all in perspective. You know what I mean? He knows that it's all just one, you know what I mean? And he really knows it, and he really feels it,
he and I did over 100 shows. We spent 3 years doing them for the Okie Talk thing in Austria. And it never ceased to kind of, I always felt like Kirk, like, and he's like Mr. Spock back there, man.
Yeah, totally.
He's like the 80s FM DJs, man, but like the college DJs,
and I think that's what that's why I relate to him, because I try to remain calm. I try not to, get overexcited about too many things, but I just really, his energy is amazing. So
yeah, he is a really brilliant little fucker too. I've enjoyed watching him grow up. I have to say that about Bryan too, man. Watching where he is now from the little smart ass whippersnapper he was when I first met him.
Isn't that awesome?
He was an old man. I met him when he was 22. He was an old man when he was 22. His body's just catching up now. And actually, he's more of a kid now than he was when he was 22.
That's
it's
awesome.
Like that role reversal thing is kind of funny.
That's awesome. Yeah, joy comes with wisdom.
Yeah, indeed. So how was your week?
It was a rough week. I think
public experiences, just
one of what?
5 of Cup kind of experiences.
Yeah. I feel it's definitely, there were definitely some things around me collapsing and seeming very desperate and desolate, I think, again, I think that's the joy of the fool's journey, because we're fools and we're still here and we're always on that journey. And, and that if I had stopped at the fives, I wouldn't have made it to the sixes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I heard a story on this very day about somebody that had already learned as much as they could learn and just decided to go on. Okay. Well, you missed the six, bro. All right. So you want to dive in, Mr. Zinn?
Yeah, let's do it. You want me to read the book?
I absolutely do.
All right.
This is one of my favorite little journal entries, actually, in the book.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and sixes are kind of like really special to me. That's my soul number and my outer personality number. It's a number I know exceedingly well. and it's it's a pretty good number. It gets a bad rap a lot. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to read it while it's here, and it says the first word in all capital is joy. There is an innocent, childlike quality to the Six of Cups, pure and wide open. This is a card of inner emotional reflection and nostalgia. Recalling memories from your past that filled you with joy brings you peace in troubled times and takes your mind off the immediate present. You ponder old friends you haven't seen for a while, old family memories of your happiest times, anything that will take you away. It's the connection to the places, things, and people that over the course of your life have always made you happy and smile, and who you've always delighted as well.
Yeah.
You're flipping through the pages of your inner photo album and remembering better times. But nothing ever lasts. The kids grow up, the job goes away, the vacation is over, and it's time to move ahead to your future renewed, reminded that things weren't always dark.
There you go.
I love that. And that's so true. I think for me, that's a big part of my gratitude is always being able to look back at my journey and, like an old band video or something like that and be like, oh, look at that. I was having a good time. You know what I mean? I was doing all right,
So think about this card and how that would have evolved from where it was at the five. Take a stab at that for a second, if you don't mind. Do you mind?
You're talking about like the visual metaphors?
No, not the visual on it. Like what the meaning of the five card was and why the six is now the next step.
Well,
we're not going on to another six card, my brother. We're still on the Six of Cups.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I go to it? I didn't mean to do that. I meant to. I moved it up on my screen and it went out of the window. Hold on a second. Boom. There we go.
Yeah.
I meant to move it up so I could look at it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it and the cups that are falling over and were empty are now standing upright.
So in general, the fives across the board, like if you were going to call up one word that those cards would kind of represent, all of them in unison, what do you have a stab at what that might be?
One word?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be
it's actually instability.
Okay.
It went from the fours, which are the four corners and a really, really stable system. It went to the fives, which in some cases it's competition, some cases it's emotional loss, some cases it's actual financial loss. But it's taking that stable situation from the fours and moving that into a very unstable situation.
Okay.
And then moving out of the fives, that instability kind of comes for a moment of rest and is now stable again, at least for a moment or two, right? And that's where I really dig the description of this particular card. Plus, just as we look at this card, it's just the shower. It's it is just joy running over, overflowing every single cup. And if you zoom in on the cup in the middle, like the little metal cup, right? Yeah. There's a little guy standing there in the middle of that. And all around is this just
wow.
bubbling of joy and light and, you know, the water of life. And it just is a really, really wonderful
Yeah, I love
representation.
that. I love that. There's a like an angel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
You know, you really, I like this card a lot because you really can. It's like Iguazu Falls or one of those, you know, like multi-fall waterfall kind of
Right, right,
scenario.
right. Yeah, you could definitely
You just
feel it.
kind
You
of hear
can
it happening. I love when visuals have sound. You know,
like
really
that,
fun.
like Julie's comment.
Yeah. What?
It was just little water drops.
Yeah. So. You know, the sixes are really pretty happy cards across the board. You know, the six of wands represents, you know, success and achievement and going after things. You know, the six of swords is the eureka moment, moving to a new source of sustenance for you, and that moment where boom, you get the new idea. And then the six of pentacles winds up being the scenario where, because somebody just has it and they see you and they want to give you some money, somebody get, you know, it's like this philanthropic thing where you're on the receiving end of that just
Oh,
because
nice.
it's kind of cool, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's not something you can count on, you know. That's a kind of like a momentary like pass through, but all of those cards kind of have that feeling about that too. Like if we're talking about the six of cups, you know, the description of that, it's like you're, you know, you've just come out of the five of cups and you've had like these three cups knocked over and like stuff that you really loved and counted on were part of your emotional landscape spilled, lost, gone forever. And that's, you know, that was a really wild feeling, you know. And you go back now, you like move to the six of cups, and that is now like this stable like scenario. There's no more loss going on, and you're kind of like, you know, as the little description of it said, you're looking back through your photo album, not of the like the hanged man. You're looking back through that to all the really awful things. You're looking through all the
Appreciation,
really
gratitude,
wonderful
acceptance.
experiences you've had throughout the course of your life,
Yeah,
and kind of giving pause to celebrate those and appreciate what wonderful relationships you've had, you know, and the emotional richness that life is, you know, for all of us, which is
yeah, yeah. I'm definitely
awesome.
having that experience in the last 2 days, because I'm actually digitizing a box of Super 8 videotapes of bands. Like I said, it's like, you know, being able to just, and it's actually not my band, it's just a band I was traveling with, but it's like, oh
Super 8,
yeah,
man,
I
that's pretty
remember
tough. That
that.
stuff's pretty brittle by now, man.
No, 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 not Super 8 film. I'm talking about 8 mm the DAT tapes, little DAT videotapes.
Oh, the little, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
still pretty brittle by now.
It is. Some of them didn't fare so well, and the sound is cutting in and out. But it's really, it's again, it's just, it's exactly, it's definitely, I'm definitely feeling this card, you know, this appreciation and gratitude and acceptance in a dark time. Like I was telling you earlier, you know, I had a rough week. I feel like I'm being pushed to a place of not being comfortable, you know, in where I'm at, but I'm still feeling gratitude and knowing,
And
like, you know what?
and to that note, you know, I wanted to ask you, you know, this is one of my favorite aspects of this card. It's not just happy you're getting something, it's that you got like goodness and this emotional wellspring of like this goodness. But the reflection back of that is like this really intense gratitude, this realization of what you just received and the gift that you live in every day, and this reflection back of that gratitude. And I, you know, I was kind of thinking about my own life. I wanted to ask you, dude, what like what do you like, if you had to pick, I'm the most grateful for this, what would that be? Hard question, I know. Give it a
It's
go.
not a hard question. It's not a hard question. It's an easy question, and I love my answer. I'm grateful for who I am. if that makes any sense to you.
I mean, it doesn't have to make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful for who I am. I look around and I have gratitude. I've been experiencing some interesting stuff. I went to ShopRite the other day, and I was walking through ShopRite, and I was picking up little pieces of the conversations that were happening around me. Like, there's this kind of this din around you, in a situation like that, right? All of these things happening, and I was zoning in like momentarily as I was passing people. Like for one example, I was passing this older woman who worked there talking to this younger kid who was working there, and she was like, oh, at my age you kind of understand this, and you'll understand when you're my age. And I felt momentarily connected to that conversation and the wisdom of that conversation and those two people having that conversation. Like, I was just connected to them, you know what I mean? And it was just for an instantaneous second as I was walking by. And it was, and I noticed that. I was like, oh, that was interesting. And then I started noticing it as I was passing other people, the same kind of thing. So, I think it's being able to see my reflection in everybody else, you know what I mean? And being able to be grateful that I'm not anybody else. Those kinds of things, those kinds of things. I mean,
That's kind of odd to hear.
Yeah.
Because you talk about the collective so much that to hear you celebrating the fact that you're not like any single other person is kind of.
But that's the point of the collective, right? Isn't that the point? You're meant to experience the collective as you. You know what I mean? And I think it's that realization, you know what I mean, that's so powerful.
That's
So
true.
anyway, I don't know if I'm making sense to anybody out there, but
actually that made like a lot of sense, man.
Yeah. I mean, and then a day later, I was at 7-Eleven, and I was leaving 7-Eleven, and while I was in 7-Eleven, this older guy, kind of haggard looking, was buying a scratch off ticket. He was like so excited. He's like, "Oh, give me one of those or one of those," and I was like, so silly. Like, what the hell kind of is this paradigm? Like we've created. Like, and I was just kind of, I found myself judging him, right? And then he walked outside, and I finished my transaction, and I walked outside, and I got in my car, and I looked up, and he was over at the corner of my eye, and he was scratching his scratch offs. And again, I connected to him, and I connected to that little moment of joy that he was experiencing. And I was like, that's cool. I appreciate that he's appreciating it, but I'm glad I'm not him. You know what I mean? It was just it's a weird gratitude. But anyway, I digress. I overstayed the welcome of the conversation.
I don't think gratitude can be overdone.
All right, good.
Hey, I wanted to take a moment just to say hey to Trish. Trish is out there. Trish was one of my other
Yes.
labyrinth buddies. She's having kind of some hard times connecting to us. So if you're still out there listening, hey, and hope to catch up with you.
Listen on the replay. We're giving you a shout out retroactively if you're listening to the replay.
Audrey, what's up? What's up, girlfriend?
Yeah.
And as always, the delicious.
We appreciate Jill. She's our favorite. One of our favorites. You're all are our favorites. We appreciate everybody being here.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. Gratitude, man. It's awesome. You can never overdo it. I agree. So do you want to talk specifically about the wands and the swords, and or did you kind of go through that? I love looking at them, so I want to give them all sight.
Sure, we can talk about those.
Yeah, I mean,
six in general terms, just the number 6 usually represents a deep love of beauty and like looking at the visual and sensory rhythms of the physical world. Usually 6s love their house being in order in a particular way and things like looking like that. generally sixes are like pretty conscious of how they look and their physical demeanor and that kind of thing. And you know, it's a it because of the 666 thing, it's gotten kind of a bad rap, like it's in some way evil or something. Actually, it's one half of the hurricane, and the nine is the other half of the hurricane.
Oh, Julie is saying hexagons.
Hexagons, yay. And as a matter of fact, hexagons. What's the best hexagon in the solar system? The one on the top of Saturn. There's been a hexagon that is in the shape of a hexagon that covers the entire pole, North Pole of Saturn. And it is held in place by 6 stationary storms that form the sides of the hexagon. And it is just and because of that, I've been really connected to that too. And the square, the planetary square of Saturn, which is one of the most magical magic squares ever. And also the low shoe magic square, 6s as well. So there you go. Really kind of a crazy magical number. All right, so this is the 6 of Wands, and the 6 of Wands represents achievement. Like you like the okay. 4 of Wands. It's the 4 poles of the celebration 10, and that idea you had is really doing really well, and it's moving along, and then all of a sudden everybody starts to take notice of that, and all of a sudden you're in the 5, and the 5 of Wands represents some serious competition trying to take you out and steal your ideas, remove you, undercut you with price, whatever that competition is. They're trying to do that to remove you from your place at the top. So then you've sustained that, you've made it through that, you like weathered the storm, and now you're at the 6 of Wands, which represents your achievement through that, and now you're at a whole new level with whatever you were working on. A really, really, really super cool. Yeah, why don't you blow that up a little bit? I love, before you do, you know, if you look back, you know, like the lower half of the card, kind of in the very center is kind of a little head, and out from the side are 2 arms, and coming out from the bottom down there are like 2 legs. So it's like this, it's almost like that Da Vinci figure. I love that.
Right. Oh yeah, I see that. Cool. Excellent. And then always kind of got this winged angel kind of aura to it. And I see 2 sets of wings. I see wings up. I see wings down.
Exactly.
You
know. There you go. You know, it just depends on what part of it you focus on. And you know, I can't tell you enough. It's like you know, the emotional content you bring to it and the nature of the question you're asking about, like, will take me to a certain part of the card every single time, you know. And look at the bottom, coming up from the very bottom, like in the center is like these knives kind of like going up to like the top, or a rocket ship actually.
Right here, that little rocket ship
is more appropriate with the little flame.
Totally,
because you're at this point where it's like really going to take off now.
That's awesome,
which is great.
Wow. Yeah, I think that concept is really important, and I think for me, I'm almost the most basic concept of card reading, or really anything, is the energy that you bring to it is definitely going to reflect back to you. I think that's important. Cool. Yeah, beautiful stuff. All right, what do you want to look at next? What do we got?
Well, I think we pretty well covered the cups. Let's go to the wand, or the swords.
Wow. Look at all these guys up here. Wow.
Yeah, do you recognize that symbol at the top of the swords?
This
in the center?
I'm gonna guess. I believe that's the female male, right? That's the female of the 2.
Come on. No.
I also Taurus. I don't. No.
Yeah, Mercury.
Mercury, yeah, Mercury. That's what I was gonna say.
That's a good one to remember. Yeah, and scroll down a little bit to the bottom. There's another symbol at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, do you recognize that? The little wavy thing in the middle at the bottom?
As far as what planet does it represent?
Yeah, do you know what that is?
I don't, but I'm gonna guess Earth. No.
No, that is the symbol for Aquarius.
Aquarius. Okay, well, I was gonna say water. That's why I said Earth, because that's the
So
only.
with this card, what that means is that Mercury and the things associated with Mercury are exalted and amplified when it is in Aquarius.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, and yeah, without getting into that, that's a whole nother way to use the
Okay, we use those. Yeah, those symbols. Right.
yeah. And if you look in the center, especially at this size of it, man, those two eyes right over the handles and the smoke in the
Yeah,
back.
right here. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And then you got almost got a skull kind of nose happening right there.
Yeah. And then the green being at the very top of the card.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Actually, several up there.
I see a whole bunch of beings there looking
Yeah,
down.
overlooking the whole, yeah. And the large sort of blue one with outstretched arms. Yeah.
So cool.
That's a crazy card.
Amazing.
So, this card is about people will tend to stay on something they know rather than take the risk to go out and look for something new, even though they're getting, Mr. Zinn, this card's for you, my brother.
All right.
Because this card represents where you have exhausted the ability to maintain sustenance from where you've been getting it. Like that source has run out. And if it hasn't already run out and empty, it's about to run out. So this card is about looking for some new place to find your sustenance and a way to
I bet you if you pulled some cards for me, this one would come up.
well, we're gonna do a little
All right.
card
I
pull
bet you this card comes up. I have a feeling. That's very, very accurate,
But it's like, well, that seems like such a fucking I hate when I don't know. But what this card represents is those eureka moments where you're like sitting there, out on the porch watching the clouds go by, and all of a sudden you go, oh man, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think to get a seminar and go out to Death Valley and light paint? I don't know. Why didn't I?
Right there you go. Totally.
And that's what that is. It's a sudden burst of a realization for a new path. And the test of this and the key to this is to have the courage to recognize that and go for it, and not just go, oh yeah, and stick with the same old, man.
Yeah.
The longer you stick with the same old, when you've already decided that it sucks, it winds up not being really good.
Eating at you.
Enough. Yeah. Let's move on to the six of
it eats at you over and over and over. I can attest to it. Okay, so let's
and it gets louder and louder and louder. Really annoying, man. Fucks with you at 3 a.m. I really don't like that at all.
Totally. Oh my God, you hit it on the nose, my friend.
I do not like that at all, man. When you wake up in the middle of the night, go,
you just shoot up and you're just like, what the fuck am I doing?
And you're stewing about it. And there's nobody you can call about it. And you just have to sit there. And that's when you break out the 4-2-4 breathing thing, man, and try to put, or the 5-6 breathing thing, and try to get to sleep. Oh man, because that's, man, I don't know. It's really loud at 3 a.m, isn't it?
Sometimes it is. Yes.
Okay, so this card is a really happy card, and it is, it's a card about getting a little bit of money. It's not a lot of money; it's a little bit of money.
Yes.
And the cool thing about it is that it usually comes from an unexpected place and not some place that you expected. It's not exactly charity, but like somebody has some cash and buys something from you that you didn't expect to do, or there's a million ways that can
Right.
manifest. Yeah.
Right.
And they, the people that are giving it to you, they don't notice it. It's like so not a thing for
Right.
them. It's
Right.
really
Right. But
easy for
maybe
them,
it's
and it really makes a big difference for you in that moment. So it's
right. Maybe, yeah,
really
that's what I'm gonna say. Maybe it's part of the message to you, in like, hey man, you've got some value here,
yeah. And that the
Oh,
universe is like not well, okay.
look who's here. We got Raphael. Look, act like you know. Oh, I'm catching you live.
Oh man, no.
From Vienna. He's
Can
catching
we
us.
ban this guy, man?
He's catching us up.
What up, Rafi?
His ears were ringing. We were talking about him, and his ears were ringing. So he woke up and he joined the show.
I got the flow. I got some flow. We were just taking your name in vain a little while ago, man. So you must have had your ears burning. Yeah.
What does Raph have to say about the Sixes? Anything, Raph?
What is well? He always has something to say about everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
We'll let him comment. I'll bring his comments when they come in.
So before we get off of this one, I really want to, as much as I want you to learn what the specific meanings of this card are, where it really starts to like take on a deeper meaning is where you see the flow from how it moves from card to card. So the card immediately before this was the Five of Pentacles. You remember what that was about? Five of Pentacles is complete financial destitution.
Yeah. Okay. Financial. Okay. I know. They're all of the five.
Bank lady, you got no money, and add insult to injury, you're walking around homeless, out in the snow, looking in the window of a wealthy family who's having a warm dinner in front of the fire.
Right.
So it's kind of like life giving you the ultimate finger, man.
Right. And you actually, this was the first thing you mentioned. Raph says maybe Brian can talk about the 5 instability and 6 stability. That was the first thing I think you started.
We've already covered that, man. You need to come in on time, dude. What's up?
Yes.
And that's exactly where I'm going to this. That whole like 5, the destitution, everything you've had's been blown up, and now you get to the 6. And the 6, just like the 6 of Cups, where you've got this breath now after that intensity. Now like here you are, you're not, it's enough money to eat. It's enough money to go get a place to like hang out and be safe. And, for this one moment here's like the coming to rest out of that insanity of the 5. The 5 of Pentacles to me, man, is just one of the most insane cards because it, a lot of them, the stuff with the swords, that's all mental stuff. That's all like shredding your own head and like thinking about it, but hardly any of that stuff at the moment, unless you continue to think about it, is actually real in the real world. Like being homeless gets your attention in a very real and visceral way. Not having enough money to eat and not having any food gets your attention in a really real
absolutely
way,
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah. What is Raphael doing here, man? Is he stirring up trouble?
No, he was he had already answered.
By the way,
he
moved
made that
up
comment.
to 75 drops of garlic today, Raphael. I'm like gonna bust out of practice tonight and see if I can make like something crazy happen.
Nice. I found this. This is a video.
Oh, did you find the hexagon on the top?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a video. I thought it was a photo, but it's a video. But this is actually pretty cool.
There you go, man. It never stops. It never changes. It never stops.
That's amazing. It is so freaking cool.
Beyond amazing to me.
And they've got like some sort of imagined visionary thing.
And at the corners, it's like at the corners, there's a storm. There's like a little hurricane that's happening at each of the corners that's redirecting those, like the purple lines. Like out. Yeah, it's just really, really.
And I saw this picture too, which I thought was pretty cool. This, hold on, let me just.
Yeah, man. For real.
That's a pretty cool freaking picture right there.
It really
Wow.
is.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, you said some things, and I was like, you know what? I want to start making this show a little more interesting. I see a lot of people doing that. You know, they can bring stuff up right away. You know that they're talking about, and that's the beauty of the internet. So there you go.
Yes, indeed.
All right, let's get rid of that. And
so you need a reading? Want a reading?
Sure. Yeah, I do want a reading. I mean, I know, you know, I guess I've learned you got to come to a reading with like wanting to know something, and I never feel like, oh man, I mean, I guess I do want to know what the heck is going on with my situation. So
Okay.
give it to me.
Okay. Sure.
No, I'm not. But
Okay,
you,
well, you can always back out until I cut. Once I
think
cut,
you are. No, I think you're pretty sure. I've got to still play the cards, whatever it is that you tell me. I still got to play it, right?
all righty. All right, so we are in the fire column now. 4 wands, top of the fire column. We just talked about that actually. Okay, and that's immediate past. This is the immediate or the present moment. 7 of Cups in the fire column. A little extra wobbiness with that one. Okay, last card in the fire column, the 9 of Wands. I'm going to pull all the cards before I give you the interpretation on it, okay?
Okay.
All right, we're moving over to the water column.
Okay.
The devil. That's immediate past. This present moment. That is the 9 of Pentacles. One of my favorite cards, actually. And the Eon, which represents putting the old corpses to bed and releasing them to have their energy again. And it's also on a more esoteric level. This represents your connection to your ally and your higher self.
Okay. Getting my pen so I
Okay, we're moving over to the air column.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 10 of Cups. Ace of Wands. Death. Okay, now we're moving over. We just got through with the fire column, the energy, with the water column and the emotions forming it, and the air column and the mindset going on, making that real. And now we're at the earth column. Oh, Jesus. First card, 5 of Pentacles.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 8 of Swords. And last but not least, the moon to end up on. Oh, dude. Okay, it was good. Now there's like shady scenarios in every single direction, man. And it's like you're really disillusioned with the whole fucking thing. And what looked like all these directions were going to be really good are now kind of like, wow, that's some really empty bullshit. And the last card in the immediate future is the 9 of Wands, which represents you charging into a crowd of people on the same level, all with wands too, and you are charging into an overwhelming opposing force with nothing but your own wand or your own staff and your balls and courage. And you're hoping it's going to turn out really good because you're going to give it everything you have not to get killed. It's not assured that you're going to get pummeled. Whether you die and survive or not, you know, that's another story.
More so than already.
Oh, dude, you haven't even started. The level of degree of torture you can give yourself when you choose slavery over freedom and the scariness of taking the choice you know is correct, and you choose to stand there with the fucking metal collar around your neck, even though you could take it off and walk away at a moment's notice.
That's the past, right?
That's the immediate past.
Ah, yes. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. That's accurate. That's accurate.
Yeah. Okay. So then where you're at in the immediate present is the 9 of Pentacles, which is a great card. You know, it represents some, there are a lot of things that are coming to fruition for you if you would focus on them and stop thinking about how bad the other one sucks and make those happen. Would be really, there's a lot of energy at your disposal to help propel you forward. But you've got to take the initial leap to do it. It's not just going to show up and happen because you're sitting there. You know, so this is kind of an action card. It's also like, you know, it's Earth, you know, so your action is going to pay off in physical reflection and reward. Okay, immediate future. You know, the eon, this is you know, that moment where, you know, in the Rider-Waite deck, it's the angel blowing the trumpet and all the corpses are coming up out of the grave and going off to heaven. You know, you're releasing all of this old dead debris, you know, that is built up. And, you know, you got a nice little, a couple travel cases full, my brother. You could leave those behind at the next station if you want. Be all good. Okay, so that was fire with the 4 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, 9 of Wands. Okay, the air, which is the Devil, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Eon, which is also your connection. You know, you need to connect to your ally, dude. You know, that's one of the reasons I'm really excited about going to Death Valley. There's a place in Death Valley that I connected to my ally for the very first time that I can't wait to go back to that spot and reprise that now. Mm-hmm. And I have help from him right now, even as we speak. Shit's just falling into place. Little sponsors, this, that, people want to go. Yeah, I've got a guy that's like wants to go and like do the movie, and like it's crazy. It's just taking on a life of its own because I finally listened to his advice that he gave me, like the night that we like actually connected in a really profound and
no, you're talking about
my ally, my higher,
your higher self, your guide.
Yeah, on the me that lives on the next set of bands above us.
Great, I love it.
Okay, so the next, so connect to that. Even though you haven't done it, send the wave out to him. Like start getting his attention. Be a little pest. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no one that would want to help you more than you.
No, I you know what?
Yeah. No one would want to help you more than you.
Loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
Okay. So the next, now we're over to the air column and how the thoughts that are being had. And this is the 9 of Cups. You know, I love these 9s. Because these 9s are right before everything comes to fruition, man. It's like the, you know, the waxing gibbous moon, that crescent right before the full moon, where it's already got that full moon vibe, that energy, but there's still going to be a push going forward. You know, once it hits the 10, it's kind of spent, it's done. Now it's like recycling back to the beginning of the cycle again. The 9 is where like there's a lot of excitement and a pent up possibilities and things about to happen, things that are already happening, but a lot of things that are about to happen. And that's the immediate past. The immediate future, the immediate present is the Ace of Wands. Love this card because that's the energy to start new things. Like that's the primal poof. Oh, there we go. You know, it's time to like get on with something new. And that's the energy and the ability and the fuel to do it. Death. You know, you choose your time or your time will choose you. Choose your time or your time will choose you. Okay. All right, so the way that would likely manifest in the real world. First card is the Five of Pentacles. You know, we had a lengthy discussion of this just a moment ago about the homeless girl out in the snow looking in at the family. It's like complete financial and worldly destruction, property, everything, losing everything. You know, that's a really awful space when you've lost everything, but when you've lost everything, there's nothing else to lose. That can be a very powerful moment. As you know, as the other fives that represent instability, when there is an unstable situation, there is a lot more opportunity to make things change than when things are in stable, solid systems. You know, when things blow up, it's like COVID. Look at how much stuff changed. Like
right.
You know, because every system was in flux. Nothing was as it was, and it's in those situations of instability that opportunities, if you can maintain your like attitude about it and your vision about what's really real and important, there are opportunities in that.
Right.
Okay, so and where it is now, it's the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is just such a fucked up card and a great card because it looks like you're staring out of a jail cell made out of swords, right? You're looking at the situation.
Oh yes, I remember. But the back is open, right?
You can't, but you can't move forward. But you turn around, and the whole like back of the room is open, and all you have to do is get up, change your perspective, and
I
walk
remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the last
hearing.
part, hang on.
I'm here.
Go ahead.
That's all right. I'm hearing when you said, you know, like nothing left to lose. I was hearing freedom is another word for nothing left to lose. Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, like you get to that point of nothing left to lose and you're free. You know,
pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those things that like hold us. You know, our society is kind of built on making us not free, you know,
absolutely,
and hooking us to monthly payments of every, just what. So you're in the rat trap. Got to keep going. Got to keep making it. Got to keep. All right. So last card. This is kind of an odd card to end on. It's the Moon. And, you know, when you're in the Moon is about dreamland and things that are not exactly real and mysterious kind of scenarios. And at its best, it's good dreams and fantasies and inspiration. And at its worst, it's nightmares and the darkest subconscious like things you could pull up to scare you. And all of it you have to take with a grain of salt as to its reality. And you have to look at everything, you know, at the end of that, like, you know, I'll take it for how it looks right now, but I'm going to keep looking and look deeper through it because there's a lot of layers to this card. That's the other thing, you know, what it looks like on the surface. And, you know, the thing that's really wob about this, and since we're in this column where it's the Five of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Moon. Run away! What is your
Thanks, man.
quest?
I asked for it, you know. I guess I
Seek
did.
the Holy Grail. Well, dude, the reality is it's sucking because you're choosing to let it suck. I
Right.
mean, I hate to
I
be like,
heard that. I definitely heard that in what you said. I mean, you didn't say that, but I heard. I interpreted it that way for sure.
you
Yeah.
know, and holding on to what you know. You know, sometimes the universe, you know, it's like the blank room, you know, nothing, it's an absolute test of faith. Nothing less is required than the empty-handed leap into the void, you
Mm.
know, with absolute faith that it's going to work out,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and sometimes without that act of energetic faith, you know, the thing that's next isn't going to show up because you're still attached
I hear
to
that.
what
I
you know.
hear that. It's you know what, and that was I think I was telling you before we got online. I had a good day on Sunday because I just started cleaning some areas in the house that have just become piles and piles of stuff, and it gets oppressive, and there's an energy to it that I just have been. I have been complaining about, like, oh my God, it sucks, and I put off starting to clean it because there's so much stuff, and something got into me on Sunday after my haircut, and
By the
and
way, it's kicking, by the way.
and I was like, oh, I want to do this, and I was cleaning yesterday all day until probably 1:30 or 2 in the morning, and at 2 in the morning I was just like wide awake. I was just like, all right, what else can I clean? And I'm like, you know what, I got a lot done. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna relax. But yes, all of it that's connected to everything you're saying, all of the energy that you're talking about is right where I'm at. Let it go, Julie
Well,
saying,
I
yep.
hope that was helpful, and
Yeah.
I wish you Godspeed on moving through what you got to move through.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of layers to what you're saying, and I think that there's a lot of layers to how it's presenting itself to me. So it's pretty clear, and there's a lot of, you know, layers to what I have to do.
Well, I'm really
So,
excited about the energy like mode for next week.
yeah.
I've got David Mum is coming on.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and he's going to talk about his a lot of his findings and the kind of research he's working on and the energy stuff. And I'm really excited. I asked Bertha and Patty to, like, next week they'll do the opening video.
Oh,
They'll come
cool.
on.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and
Yeah, you know what? If you can get me his links for I'll put up some links this week so we can look at it, on the Fool's Journey Facebook page, and I'll take a look
yeah,
so I
I'll
can be
definitely do that.
ready and have some questions and be ready to do it.
It's gonna be he's man, a deep guy. I've been really privileged to get to see some of the index and the chapter stuff, and he's been
Awesome.
sending me stuff as he's been developing it, and it's pretty crazy. I've shared it with Og and my teacher.
Very cool. Awesome.
He's like, "Wow, this is crazy good." So
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to share it with you guys
Excellent.
next week.
I love it. I love when we have good guests on the show, and we always do. So
Yeah.
awesome, man. Well, it's good to see you this week. Get me those links. I'll put them up on the webpage. And
I will.
thank you, everybody, for being
And
here.
heads up, I don't know that you've actually totally committed, so I'm going to put you on the spot right now. We're going to do the light painting podcast.
100% committed.
Okay, we're
100%.
going to do Be in the light painting podcast. We're going to get on that.
Be in the light. I cannot wait. Awesome. I'm super excited.
Yeah,
Look
me
out for
too.
that. It's going to be awesome. And now I have some inspiration to start, getting more excited about it.
Yeah,
So
man.
we'll
Well,
talk more
anyway,
about that.
Audrey and Rafi, Jilly, always, and everybody that showed up tonight, man. Thanks for
Peace.
coming and sharing with us, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Adios, muchachos.